Hello all, this is Stephen J9414 here, and welcome to another video. So what I have here is the Stuart 500 boiler with what I believe is an AJ Reeves engine. I bought that from the eBay UK website, and the person I bought it from said that it was a home built or custom. I really don't know, to be honest. I think it's AJ Reeves beast. I owned one in the past a long time ago. It had a Bowman boiler, ran okay, but I sadly sold it. I do like it. It runs good. I do like real Stuart engines, but I'm kind of glad I have this. Now, real Stuart engines are excellent, but they have steel cylinders, and unfortunately, with steel cylinders, you have to blow out the water when it's done, or else the piston can rust and get seeds inside the board. But this doesn't have that problem, so this is a lot less maintenance. Also here I have my green DR Mercer, which I showed running on the channel before, and I last had this in video last year in November. I learned a lot from the experience of cutting the piston ring a little bit deeper, and I eventually did get it to work, so I'll put that on video when I'm done running the Stuart. But now it takes a standard red viton O-ring and works pretty good. Anywho, back to this Stuart here. So this particular Stuart 500 boiler here did come with a Stuart 500 safety valve, but it was lifting at 5 psi or less, so I didn't really want to mess with it. I happen to have this Maidstone safety valve, which I was using for roundhouse Fowler. It turned out was the wrong TPI. It's 3/8, the roundhouse is 3/8 by 24, 3/8 by 30 seconds, and I have this funky adapter here from Marquee Traction Engine. That's 3/8 by 30 seconds down to 1/4 inch by 40. And it just so happens that this is a 5/16 by 27 boiler insert, and that is what Stuart uses for their safety valve. And that's a 1/4 inch by 40 to 5/16 by 27 reducer from PM Research, and that's how that whole mess sits together. Put a little O-ring underneath the stem. It lifts around 25 psi. I had gotten it to lift around 35, but for whatever reason it lifts a little lower, but oh well. This is the burner that I'm using. This is the original Stuart 500 alcohol burner it came with. Now, it was not originally designed to have wicks. It had slots like you can see here. There was some one or two of these slots left over, but when it was set up with the slots, it was a pain to use because the alcohol level had to be just right. If you had too much alcohol, it spewed alcohol everywhere, and you have giant alcohol fire on the base of the boiler, and if it was too low, it just wouldn't light. So I cut it with Dremel, going across here, cut off disc, and I had to solder on a little bit of extra brass pipe that I cut, so in order to keep it has structural integrity, because I cut a little too much, but it's holding up. And if I can tell, the tank is soft solder because the nut for the bolt cap here came loose. It slid around, and I was working on it. But anyhow, at least it's working. And this is the same setup they had at Central Paso and Gulf Water Meet. But I was using a different burner there. But this is the burner that was using over Steven Spencer video. You may have watched the part 1 Steven Spencer, where my friend's kids from family from Wisconsin, his son was there, and other friend's kids were playing with the workshop. That was the same 500 that was in that video. And it does have a bunch of PM Research parts because I live in the United States. I do like Great Britain a lot, and I have a lot of stuff from Great Britain, but Stuart parts are expensive and they come from England, and that means paying more expensive shipping fees and tariffs. Not getting all this shit about the whole tariffs thing. Now it's very political charge thing, but PM Research parts are cheaper for me to buy in the United States, just like PM Research parts for those of you overseas in Europe and England are more expensive for you to buy. So that's why you see PM Research globe valve, PM Research hand pump, which I put together the machine kit, not the raw unmachined one, globe valve PM research, safety valve, sorry, single time whistle PM research, and that's Maidstone over there, that safety valve. So let's go ahead and run it. Take two. And it's definitely lit. Oh boy, let me tell you. So as you might be able to notice here, it's a bit messy. Fortunately, I haven't yet working on a bunch of stuff. I haven't really had a chance to clean up. I really like a magnolia tree, but it's a lot of work to pick up all the leaves. Haven't had a chance to do that yet this year. Eventually running trains again. So I think I was commenting about tariffs and British parts I really like, but I did have a PM Research pressure gauge on there. I put the Bassett and Loke one that came with back on because I needed those for other projects I'm working on, and it works. As you can see here, it's reading about 10 psi. It pulls off around 20 or so. It definitely does quite well. It's pulling off a lot earlier than I'd hoped it would for some reason, though. Yeah, there's lots of steam coming out of that safety valve, kind of early too. It's getting to 20. It really doesn't need more than 5 to 10 psi. So let's go ahead and open up the AJ Reeves engine. I put oil in that lubricator there. As you can see, there's already water coming out of the exhaust drain cock. What I do is flick it a few times with the flywheel. Full power. Alright, I'll go ahead and slow it down until it can run very slow. Even though its PM Research flow valve does not have much taper at all. Well, it does, it's not a lot. So, I did make some modifications here. As you can see, that's the 1/4 inch PM Research lubricator. The 3/16 one is on that Mercer over there, which I'll run later in the video, hopefully. Ran out of camera battery if I was charged it beforehand on the GoPro, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Jensen Warner workshop here. Good chance to buy one of these. I suggest you do for about $100 or so, because they're well worth it and they're very high quality. Sadly, Jensen isn't making many more. There's a moon, burning doge walking off in the distance there. So, anywho, it is running pretty well, and I'll go ahead and close that valve over there, so that way it's no longer leaking water and steam and so forth down, since the cylinder has cleared itself. And oh, sorry. So I think this is originally 5/16 by 27. Sorry, yeah, 5/16 by 27. You see the threads here. I got a 3/16 to 1/4 inch by 40 nail adapter in there. I threaded it for it, but then he had to soft solder it in, and that's why I got this 1/4 inch by 40 fittings in there, because I don't have much in the way of 5/16 by 27 for the nuts and union. I think that's what's the original glow valve was set up for. I didn't use the original Stuart one because it's 3/16 to 5/16, and most of my fittings are 3/16 to 1/4 inch by 40, except for some safety valves and 5/16 to 1/4 inch reducers. And that's why I'm using a PM glow valve and most of the PM parts there, because Stuart is great, but costs a lot of money getting that from England. Anywho, it's running here. I do have to pretty frequently refill the alcohol tank because it doesn't last very long. Where is that? Water. Shows is full. It was probably up from here, so somewhere in the back end. Hey Taro, what's up, dog? Because the rain stopped long enough that you feel secure going outside, which is good. It's good, dog. Now, the one thing I did want to show you here, you may notice that pulley, that's not original to this engine. The accessory pulley, that's actually Jensen, and there's a reason why I'm using that. The original one was threaded onto the crankshaft, and there was no set screw. I could have drilled and tapped for a set screw on there, which would have fixed the problem, but I decided not to. And when you run at full throttle, the original accessory pulley would just unbolt itself and the flywheel along with it. This doesn't do that because it's set with the set screw, and I gotta refill the alcohol tank already. So anyhow, that has a set screw on there. It's not perfectly centered, as don't have a lead yet, but it's pretty good. I'm gonna try to do this very carefully one-handed. Then some of you may have these Stuart alcohol burners. I prefer to have a wick in there, but this is what I do to keep it filled. Gently and slowly fill it with alcohol. What do you think, boy? Yeah, he just wants to go back inside. He's a good dude. I actually had to refilm part of this video because it's put it in time lapse instead of video like a dummy. So the dogs didn't come back earlier when I ran it. Well, one did. Taro just now, and Coda's probably in the couch somewhere. We're doing okay. Anyhow, thank you for watching, and go ahead and show the parts of the Mercer running, hopefully. Very shortly. So now it's time to run the DR Mercer here, and I don't have too much battery left on my GoPro, so I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible. I'm going to go ahead and light and insert this 2-wick alcohol burner vaporizer. And do that. Well, it's working. Let's work out a little more. Spraying again, pretty good. Have the fiber gas over there, no rings. Anyhow, folks, thanks for joining the video. Thanks for watching. You all have a great day.